Hello, my name is Bethany Johnson. Today's date is August 21st, 2021, and today's date is Saturday. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all about my daily calorie intake as well as what would be recommended. We were asked to use some type of site like MyPlate, which I did use to be able to add up the total amount of foods by portion size, teaspoon, or how many pieces of food that you were to consume. Add all those up through the entire 24 hours or having like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then at the end, be able to print that out and you'll be able to have what your intake was and then also the recommended. So I do have my flow sheet. This is a printout of my flow sheet from MyPlate right here. And I will just go down the list so I can tell you. My grains intake was about 25%. So obviously they had recommended it to be 75% more. My amount of my grains was 1.7 ounces. And the recommended was 7.0 ounces. My vegetable intake was 48%, and then they had recommended for another 52%. My amount that I had consumed of my vegetables was 1.4 cups. They had recommended another 3 cups. My intake of fruits was 98%. They said that that was perfect. They obviously that it was 98%. They weren't too concerned about that other 2%. So they said that the 2 cups was what they had recommended, and that's what I had consumed, the equivalent of that. My dairy intake was 28%. They had recommended that I have another 3 cups of some type of dairy. My protein food intake was 78%, or the equivalent of 4.7 ounces. They had recommended to have 6 ounces, or 6 ounces total, so 1.3 ounces more. And also the other notes down here is make half of your grains whole. They wanted to just let me know that I should aim for at least 3.5 ounces equivalents of whole grains a day, especially since my grain intake was so low. I only had the 25%. My oils and empty calories, they said to aim for 6.0 teaspoons of oils a day. Oils could be any type of nuts. Nuts have a lot of fat. And I will get to what I had consumed within that, with what I consumed yesterday. Nuts have a lot of fat. Also, any type of butter, butter substitute, or any type of like olive oil that you would cook with would go into that 6.0 teaspoons of oil a day. Sorry. And then also just to limit your extra fats and sugars to 290 calories a day. Vary your vegetables, which would just be a mixture. So they had suggested having dark green vegetables, 3 cups weekly. Orange vegetables, like carrots, would be 2 cups weekly. Dried beans and peas, 3 cups weekly. Starchy vegetables, that would be like a potato. They say 6 cups weekly, and then any other types of vegetables, 7 cups weekly. So that is the my intake versus the recommendation by MyPlate. Now I will get to what I actually consumed, and this is my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet of what I had to eat. So for breakfast, I had a banana, and that was 105 calories. I also had Greek yogurt, which was blackberry pie. That was 100 calories. I had coffee with French vanilla creamer, fat-free, and that was 54.7 calories. And then I had a salad mix of leafy romaine, and that was 2 cups for 20 calories with salad dressing of buttermilk ranch, 2 tablespoons for 110 calories. For dinner, I had a chicken breast, roasted skinless. That was just 1. That was 141.9 calories. Then I had a salad kit with Caesar dressing, and that just had 1 cup of that, and that was 100 calories. For snacks, I had one protein bar, a peanut butter protein bar, for 140 calories. I had I had 2 oranges, and that was 214.2 calories. I had 1 Diet Coke, that was 0 calories. I had 2 cups of popcorn, that was 68.6 calories. I had 0.2 cups of walnuts. Like I said, walnuts would be an oil source, so I did have an oil source. I had walnuts. And like I said, that was 0.2 cups for 163.5 calories. I had a half a cup of strawberries. It was 22 calories. And I had a half a cup of fresh blueberries, and that was 42.2 calories. Now I'm going to show you, again, what my recommended calories were, because I showed you the MyPlate spreadsheet. I want to show you that I also do have the spreadsheet of what what they had recommended. So the calories that I had consumed were 1,352. They had recommended for my weight, which is 120 pounds, to have 2,266. So I only had about 60% of what my calories were. A couple of the questions I have, 4 questions we are to answer here, and I will just read these off as I go. The procedure you use to do the calculation of calorie intake and the results, so I just did explain that. That was the MyPlate. And you can use a table or any other aid with the data, in which I already did that because I showed you the MyPlate printout of what my caloric intake was for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I explained to you what I had consumed per measurements and the amount that I had. How many calories do you normally burn a day? Well, that's a tricky question for me because that just depends on if I am working, if I'm at home, and also the season. So right now, with it being summer, we have a pool, so I swim a lot. That burns quite a bit of calories. I'm also outside gardening. That also burns a lot of calories. And also, if it's nice outside like it has been, I do go for lots of walks. I have 3 kids and I also have a dog. So on typical, after you add all those things up, it's about anywhere from low to about 500 calories burned, all the way up to about 1,000, without doing any type of very vigorous activity or exercise. Based on your weight, are you ingesting the required number of daily calories? Explain the reasons for your answer. Well, like I said, I am 120 pounds, and I believe that I normally have about 13 to 1,400 calories a day. And I know that they recommend about 2,200 a day. That is all based upon this. I should say that this question, if you are ingesting the required amount of calories, I feel like this question really should be based upon your activity level. Because if I were to ingest 2,200 calories a day and I'm not doing any physical exercise, I'm going to start gaining weight, regardless if I am 120 pounds or not. The food that I am consuming is not going to be burned. Some of those foods that I shared with you were high-calorie foods, like walnuts. I said I had 0.2 cups of walnuts, and where's my spreadsheet? I had 0.2 cups, and those calories were 163.5. And the fat calories from that was 146.7. So where are those fat calories going to go? They're going to stay in my body. They're going to stay as fat. They're going to turn as fat. So I feel like this number 3 question, are you ingesting the required number of calories, as long as they are healthy calories and healthy fats and in moderation. Everything is always in moderation. So sure, I could increase my caloric intake if they are from good healthy protein sources and from good healthy carbohydrates, and also more from leafy greens. Sure, absolutely. But I definitely would not increase my caloric intake with processed foods or any type of sugary calories just for fillers. So yes, I believe that I am ingesting the required amount of calories based on my physical stance at the time. So like I said, that all just depends on the given day and also the season. If it's winter and all you're doing is just eating, what your calorie intake is supposed to be, and then you're sitting on the couch doing nothing. Well, that's not going to do you any good, because our whole body and health is required around nutrition and physical exertion. So that's what I would say. Then number 4, if you do not have an ideal weight, what can you do to handle your calories, or what would you suggest to another person to gain or lose weight? So I feel like with my BMI is right on target with, I am 5'4", and I am 120 pounds, and I'm 35 years of age. So I am right on target within my health, so I do not need to lose any weight, and I don't need to gain any weight. If I gained a couple pounds, I would still remain in my normal BMI, body mass index is what BMI stands for, range. So I'm going to direct this question to someone else. So what would you suggest to another person to lose or gain weight? So that would depend on what your caloric recommendations are. Obviously, I had just touched base about eating healthy foods, not eating processed foods, staying away from fast food places like McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, places like that are going to have more processed foods that are not highly nutritional, and I mean highly nutritional, of foods that are actually going to fully break down and be digested, that have the nutrients that our body can take and then eliminate. Dark leafy greens, our body needs those. Proteins, healthy carbohydrates, and I say healthy carbohydrates from sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, even bananas have, obviously they're a fruit, but they also do have lots of carbs. And I say healthy carbohydrates, not a bag of chips, or not a hamburger that has this big, huge bun on it. Sure, that's okay in moderation, and I'm not saying that we can't have fast food or those yummy French fries that you have as well, but everything in moderation. So if somebody was needing to lose weight, I would say that you would need to make sure that you are keeping a good log, or even using MyPlate, or using a MyFitness app. A lot of people like to enter their foods in there so they can stay on track, take a hold of their health and their daily requirements, so they can see how many more calories do I have left to eat. Have I met all of my macros, which would be your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fats, your dairies throughout the day, so they can have a visual representation on where they are at within that day for your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your snacks, where they need to increase that food group or stay at bay and not eat anything more within that fat calorie or category, or that carbohydrate category. So, or even fruits, that matter, because fruits do have, even though that they're healthy for us, they do contain a lot of sugars. So I would say for somebody that's looking to lose weight, as a question asked, I would say I would recommend getting some type of site or app, like I said, My Fitness app or the MyPlate to log those foods. Also, try to walk maybe 30 minutes a day, even 5-7 days a week, and that's not very much. You can do this even on your lunch break, and a half an hour lunch break, and be able to eat afterwards, or if you only get a half an hour for lunch, maybe just eat a little snack on your walk. Listen to music. Look at your phone. I mean, lots of things. As long as your body is working, you've got your whole body is working in response, your legs, your heart, all the blood is flowing, you are going to be much, much healthier. Your immune system is going to be responding better as well when you are placed in situations where it's going to need to be working better. So that's what I would suggest. Also, we were to show a food that that we ate for that day and how it got digested and absorbed. So I have made this little handy dandy, and it says, how did my banana get digested and absorbed? Because I did have a banana for breakfast. And I've got a little banana down here. So this is my little diagram. And then I'm just going to read and how my body did digest my banana and how it got absorbed. So what happened is that my salivary glands My salivary glands make saliva, which has enzymes that start to chemically break down the banana. And then my teeth and my mandible, which is your jaw, chewed the banana into small bits. And my tongue mixed the banana with the saliva as well. So as my salivary glands made the saliva that had the enzymes that chemically started to break down the banana, my tongue mixes the banana with the saliva, and then the teeth and my jaw, my mandible, started to chew the banana into small bits. Then my muscle contractions within right here in your neck and going down your esophagus, it's called peristalsis, and that's muscle contractions, and that started to move the banana down my esophagus. Then as it was going down my esophagus, my liver makes bile, which helps neutralize my stomach acid and digest the vitamins from the banana. And then my stomach mixes the banana with stomach acid. Then the bile is stored within my gallbladder until it's needed. And so if you did not have a gallbladder, it would just skip this process. And that's why when people don't have a gallbladder, it's a lot harder to process fats and also to be able to keep fat off. So a lot of times when people don't have a gallbladder or have gallbladder issues, practitioners and doctors will normally tell them to watch their intake of greasy foods and spicy foods, because your gallbladder isn't able to able to process that as it normally would if you had one. So then from my gallbladder, it goes to my pancreas, which makes enzymes, and the enzymes that the pancreas makes is lipase, protease, and amylase, and that ends up breaking down the banana. Then within my duodenum, bile and enzymes from my pancreas work to continue to break down the banana that I ate. And then again, peristalsis, which is the muscle contractions, happens again. And it pushes the banana through my small intestines, which digests and absorbs all of the nutrients. My colon absorbs water and electrolytes. And then lastly, what happens after all of the nutrients have been digested and absorbed, it enters my rectum and then will pass the leftover waste. And the leftover waste is anything my body didn't take of the nutrients that wasn't digested or absorbed will be turned into fecal matter, and then that's when you would end up having a bowel movement. So I made this representation So you can see how it starts as soon as we put a piece of food, such as a banana, in our mouth, how our body ends up digesting that and absorbing it all the way through our body until it is eliminated, until the extra waste that did not get digested or absorbed, how that ends up not being needed anymore. Our body doesn't need that, and that is why that turns into fecal matter, and then it is removed from our body until we next eat again. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much.